to the Super Bowl weekend highlight. Without recording this session, talk about right now being wrong, because that's what's important when you're wrong, not to be wrong for long. In the Super Bowl weekend, American football, real popular. Super Bowl Sunday is very popular. But just to use a football analogy for trading, you could look at video all week as to the team you're playing, and that's very helpful. You could have a pregame walkthrough the day before, and that's very helpful. You practice, and that's very helpful. All of it's helpful if you've got the right video and the right people kind of dissecting what the other team does. But the best information you're going to get is when you break the huddle, if you're a quarterback, because that's what you see in as real time as possible, what the defense is going to try to do. All right. They could still shift it up, but the closer you get to snapping the football, the more in alignment as to what they want to do against you is going to be readable. So that's why the best quarterbacks, they have to have a good arm and they have to be accurate, but the best quarterbacks aren't just the ones. There are a lot of great athletes with great arms that are accurate, but the ability to read and the courage to change their mind when they break the huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. So the most important information you're ever going to get is as close to real time as you are. And then going back a little bit. So what has the team done? Well, we watched all the video all week as to what they try to do, but now it's after the first quarter. What have they tried to do this game, right? That would be like trying to read, something that might have happened back in here on the chart, or trying to read what we just talked about before I started recording, that this sell-off is probably a little bearish. We're going to retrace a little bit and have some continuation before the pattern happens. So don't get me wrong, what's happened in the past is important, but it's less and less important the further and further back you go. I get a kick when I hear the stats like the all-time matchup between the Rams and the Bengals is the Rams have really had the upper hand on this head-to-head battle. It doesn't matter 50 years or 20 years of how they played. The players weren't the same. Who cares? It's a fun fact, but it has no relevancy to this game. Just like every year on February 13th, it rains 80% of the time. Well, it doesn't matter. What's it going to do this Sunday? And let's look at information that we have right now instead of those statistics that really don't matter, because we could be in the 20%. It's not going to rain. So let's get closer to real time and understand reading the real time is most important. And it doesn't matter if you trade for seconds, minutes, hours, or even a swing trader or an investor. And the reason why is because you still have to get in the real time. You still got to exit in the real time. And so usually the people who devalue the real time are the ones who don't want to bother trying to read it or learn it. And I understand that it's hard. So people don't like to do hard things. They pass on hard things. So reading the real time is important no matter what your time frame is and what your approach is. You want to learn the real time, because getting people stuck and trapped, that's when they get stuck and trapped in the real time. What moves the market isn't what someone did yesterday. It's what someone's doing right now. Oftentimes, it's these guys getting stuck short at that particular moment. It's Bullard's comments that come in at 11:45 Central yesterday that weren't priced in, and boy, they got priced in after that. So it's close to real time is more important with the information you're looking for. Doesn't mean you totally devalue something that's happened in the past, but you put in proper perspective. When you break the huddle, are they blitzing? Are they showing a blitz? Are their linebackers drop back and you're calling a play over the middle? Maybe you want to audible out of that. Maybe you want to pretend like you're audibling out of that. You better audible out of that. If you don't, then they come back to the sideline and say, why didn't you audible out of that? You knew we had two tight ends running, were both our primary targets, and the linebackers were right in that space. An easy audible for something out in the flat. Why didn't you call that? And maybe because he missed the read. You ever hear these athletes talking about missing a read? It's a lot of what they're talking about. The defense reading the offense reading the defense when it comes to football. And I'm talking about football because this particular video, Super Bowl Sunday, is in 2 days. So enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and remember, real time, no matter what your time frame is. Don't use the excuse, well, I don't trade over minutes or hours, so I don't have to learn the that type of analysis. No, you're just saying that because you tried to learn it. It's a little too hard, so you kind of rationalized around it.